Doc on the Run. We help injured runners run.
Now, I just got an email recently from someone who's a runner, and one of the things he asked, he said, should I be patient? And are the chances good that the pain subsides after 4 to 6 weeks on its own? Well, that's a good question, but that depends. The first thing you have to think about when a doctor tells you just should take off running, stop activity, stop doing everything for 4 to 6 weeks, you have to ask yourself several questions. The first thing is, do you have time to be patient? I mean, you have to really think about this, right? Like if it's going to take 4 to 6 weeks to heal, do you have the luxury of taking 4 to 6 weeks of no activity? Can you afford to do that? Do you have the time to do it? And then what's going to happen? Can you afford to atrophy? If you take 4 to 6 weeks off, you're going to lose most of your fitness. This is not complicated. You have to understand that you really are going to lose a ton of fitness if you take a month or month and a half off of all activity. Can you afford to lose your aerobic fitness? I mean, if you take a month and a half off, how much of your aerobic fitness is going to dwindle away? And if that does happen, how long will it take you to earn it back? You're going to have to work to get that aerobic fitness back. How long is it going to take you? Can you afford to get weaker? Think about all the muscular strength you've developed as a consequence of your training leading up to that injury. 4 to 6 weeks of no activity is going to leave your fitness decimated. Can you afford to let your running form rot away and just deteriorate over that month or month and a half? You know, your running form comes as a consequence of running. It becomes better when you're doing speed work. It comes better when you do tempo runs. That is going to all dwindle away over a month or a month and a half of no activity. You also have to ask yourself if you have any plans for races, events, or other activities that you'll be unable to participate in if you really are just patient and you try to wait it out for 4 to 6 weeks. And the other thing you have to think about that nobody seems to really talk about is kind of the million-dollar question. I mean, what will happen if you are patient, if you do just take 4 to 6 weeks off with no activity, no running, nothing, and it doesn't pay off? What if you don't get better, even after you take 4 to 6 weeks off of running? I mean, you have to remember, waiting is not a plan. Waiting doesn't guarantee healing. So you have to think about the flip side of that when a doctor tells you to take 4 to 6 weeks off running and then just see if your pain goes away. You need to make sure taking 4 to 6 weeks off of running, you have to make sure that that has a high probability of success before you commit to a plan of just wait. So you have to ask your doctor, like, what is the probability that I'm going to be better in 4 to 6 weeks? It's fair to ask them that question if they tell you to stop running for 4 to 6 weeks. You get to choose your path of healing. So you need to make sure that plan includes strategies for staying fit, maintaining your running fitness, and getting back on course and getting back to running. Now, even if you have to take some time off, make use of it. Create an active recovery plan. Remember, you are a runner. You need to demand more from your doctor and yourself in the recovery process. So get clear expectations on whether or not you should really heal during the period of time you've been told you're going to be off of activity. And do everything that you can to maintain your fitness, your strength, your running form, your neuromuscular connections. Do something to maintain all of those things so that they don't go away while you're just waiting. You have to remember, your goal is to get back to running. You have to have a plan for getting back to running. Waiting is not a plan.
Doc on the Run. We help injured runners run.